Welcome to Birds Play Sports, where we weekly cover Ravens and Orioles news. The pathetic Orioles after seeing what those teams are able to do to get to the World Series, I'm disappointed. But anyways, we're going to be talking about the Ravens and Browns game recap today. I'm sorry, hate on the Orioles for that split second, but we're going to hate on the Ravens too here. And as for the setting, I'm in one of the study rooms in my school. But anyways, we're going to be talking about the Ravens and the Browns recap. Just a game that we literally dropped out of our hands. We should have won the game. It's kind of like it's kind of like when a person, let's just say they get a phone, they have problems with the previous phone the previous year, and then they're getting the same problems. We're getting the same problems again with the Ravens. Last year,
Hmm.
we're dropping games. This year is carrying over. We're dropping games again that we should have won. And
Right.
it's frustrating, um, because the offense, they did what they're supposed to do. Defense couldn't hold their side of the bargain. And, I want to start off with the defense. Just very disappointing, and I don't know about you, but I'm starting to really have questions about Zach Orr. You know, it's 8 games in, defense still looks confused. There's some games, I'm not gonna lie, in the past 4 games, there's really been no pressure. I do believe we got some sacks in the Buccaneers game, but it's not consistent. There's
Right.
no pressure. Mads is not getting through like how he was last year. Owe, I mean, he was there the first 2 games, but where has he been? You know?
Ja was getting
And
freaking healthy scratched.
yeah, yep, that too. Is he in the dog pound or something? I don't know. And that's just the secondary is just atrocious. I mean, guys like Eddie Jackson and Marcus Williams, continually giving up large plays every game. It's just frustrating to watch. And what are we going to do about it? Well, what are we going to do about it? Eddie Jackson, you can make a case that Eddie Jackson, that game alone, cost us. And I know that Kyle Hamilton dropped the pick, but I don't even want to put it on Kyle because Kyle's a dog and he does what he's supposed to do. I understand you're supposed to catch that, but Eddie Jackson dropped 3. And one of them makes me mad because the pick went right through his hands and almost into the Browns defender's hands. But luckily, he dropped it too. I think it was Tillman,
Yep.
but he dropped 3 interceptions. And then he allowed the game-winning touchdown pass. And
I
this is
don't
a
know if you
Pro
saw
Bowl
the
safety.
you saw the play. You just standing there and let the guy blow right by him. Like, what are you doing?
Oh, you mean when the guy ran in for the touchdown or in
Yeah,
the game-winning play?
yeah, the game-winning play where he just freaking lets the guy pretty much
Yeah.
just blow right by him. Like he's standing
And
there,
then
like
there's
hesitating, and boom.
and then there was another play where they did like a slant touchdown and he just stood there and just dove at the last minute to get a tackle and he completely missed.
Yep.
Defense was just terrible in this game. Um, and you know, I feel like we should make a trade. I really do. Eddie Jackson or Marcus Williams, we need secondary help. And I'm not sure about, who's available when it comes to, DBs. I wouldn't want an old DB like Tyrann Mathieu or anything like that. I don't even think he's having his best season down in New Orleans, but we need a new solution there. So what are your thoughts? Because I know the defense is going to be one of your main talking points, to start off.
Yeah. I guess maybe I'm not, too hard on Orr just because, I was really just recapping like what we lost from last season into this year, and we lost a lot of defensive coaches. So a lot of these guys are first year Ravens as coaches, and everything. And Zach Orr didn't get the benefit of having the All Star cast that Mike McDonald had, and that's I'm gonna kind of maybe back it off a little bit on him, especially since he's first year DC. But at the same time, I'm worried though, because there is no progression here. There is no, it's not even incremental. There's not like, oh yeah, like it feels like we're getting more pressure over the weeks, or it feels like we're, covering a little bit better every week. No, like there's guys still like wide open, nobody's getting home. Matabika is nowhere to be found. You know, uh, Away is nowhere to be found. Ojabo not even on the field. Not I mean, Ngakwe is doing pretty all right. He's not doing that bad. And then Van Noy is not getting home either. So it's really irritating. And I don't know how much of the Matabike stuff has to do with, Michael Pierce is not out for 4 weeks. Brent Urban was out in this game. Travis Jones is playing on a bum ankle. So I don't know, maybe, Travis Jones, the average guy who's gonna collect a lot of guys, maybe that's providing, the offensive line more availability to block Matabike since Travis Jones is playing on a bum ankle. But I mean, Matabike hasn't really been there all year, it feels like. So I mean, I don't want to give his guy all his money and he just falls off the face of the earth. So it just felt like Mike McDonald knew how to get guys home. There was no singular pass rusher with the Ravens and the Mike McDonald system. It was everybody kind of did their thing. There was guys, coming on stunt blitzes or whatever, and there were like sometimes Kyle Hamilton would come off, Mollett would come off as well. So it's just I don't know. I'm just kind of embarrassed to call this a Ravens defense because I mean they're bad, man. Like they're bad. And what's crazy is like this isn't like 2021 where we have 1,000 guys on IR. This is genuine talent on this defense. Like guys that we've paid money to do their jobs at a high level. Marcus Williams, Brandon Stevens, guys like Roquan, guys like Mads, all these guys that you can think about, they're not performing up to their standards, in my opinion. Roquan looks slow. Kyle Hamilton looks great. He dropped a pick though to end the game. So it's
Yeah.
just and it's Trenton. How much reps is Trenton Simpson getting? I feel like I never see him on the
I don't even
field.
remember. Yeah, I don't even remember seeing him on the field.
Like, is Malik Harrison getting reps? Like, and if so, why?
And
So
see, that's when I say it's got to go back to Orr because we saw
mm,
Trenton Simpson very good in coverage. He's fast, sideline to sideline. Where
hmm
is he?
exactly.
David Njoku ate us alive. I mean, not
Mm,
really, but he ate Eddie Jackson alive on that
yeah.
touchdown play.
And honestly, I don't know what happened between Marcus Williams and Harbaugh over the last week, when it comes to, him getting benched in this game, the whole game. He didn't play one snap. He didn't play one snap. I don't know what happened, but did you really think that his whatever he did, what was Eddie Jackson didn't deserve to start this game. He started this game over Marcus Williams. I'm sorry, I don't know what he did. Maybe he did something absolutely awful. But honestly, in my eyes, Harbaugh would, probably, bench him over something stupid like, 5 minutes late to a practice or something. And it's like, where was he? What happened? Like, and why are they not saying anything about it? Like, what was so terrible that he did to where he had to miss this game and Eddie Jackson's bum ass had to start this game and completely get fried and then whine and moan for a push off? You see all those ones where Eddie Jackson's whining for a push off and it's like,
Yeah,
no,
so
dude, you just stink. Like, no, you just stink. So the Stevens is awful. And then I feel
Jalen Armour
like,
Davis.
yeah, I don't even gotta tell you he's awful. You already know that. Yeah, but anyways, how many weeks have I pretty much, reiterated that we need to catch these picks? Like they're momentum changers. Like I said, you can laugh about it when it's in the Bills game, when you're winning 35-10 or whatever, and Wiggins drops a pick. It's like, oh, it's like whatever. But it's kind of like how I said with the Orioles in the season, where it was like their running and scoring position numbers are terrible. They're 1 for like 9, but they hit a whole bunch of home runs with runners on first base or whatever. And then it's like, you're winning 9-1. It's like, oh, it doesn't matter, but it's gonna become a problem. It's not gonna be a problem until it arises, when it matters the most. When you can't hit home runs anymore and you need to drive those runners in and play in small ball, and then all of a sudden you can't because that's not what you're trained to do. This is the same thing. I always, over the past few weeks, before we started, before the defense started falling apart even more, I said, you got to catch these interceptions. Ardarius Washington's dropped like 5 picks this year, feels like. Nate Wiggins has dropped a few picks. How many of our guys dropped a few picks this year that could have been momentum changers? Listen to this. If Ardarius Washington caught that ball, that one interception, where it was what was the score? I think it was 20-17 or 23-17. I forgot what it was. But we started the drive. Oh no, I think it was the drive where Rashad Bateman dropped the ball. So the drive before, when the Browns have the ball, Ardarius Washington drops a pick, and we proceed to stop them on downs. So they punt the ball off, and it was a great punt, and we're all the way at like the 3 or the 1 yard line. That drive would have not start wouldn't have started there if Eddie Jackson caught the pick where he was. I believe he was like at the 20 or something. So then we don't have to. Our offense isn't as backed up, and then maybe Rashad Bateman doesn't get the ball lost in the sun. So it's just these little things that bother me. And then why in that last drive you're calling all out blitzes? Like you're just calling all out blitzes. There's no like, oh, we're gonna show blitz and then guys are gonna back off. Like, no, it was just send it. That was literally it literally felt like Wink was our defensive coordinator for a minute. That's exactly what it felt like. I'm sitting there watching the game. I'm like, they're sending all out blitz. Why they keep doing that? All they got. How many times have we seen this as Ravens fans, where they send an all out blitz on the last few minutes of a game, and then they just send a bomb to a receiver because he's wide open because our guy can't cover him that long. How many times we saw that in the Steelers
We
game
saw that a
last year?
lot.
We saw that all when Wink was here. Remember that Bears game? That Bears game in 2021? That's the game I knew Wink should be fired because why did he call an all-out blitz when we have door dashes on our corners? So it really bothers me just how like we're not getting home, we're not covering well. Like it just and we have guys we have cornerbacks with absolutely no ball skills as well outside of Marlon, and that showed in this
Yeah.
game. Wiggins wasn't playing this game. The fact that it was even this close, it was is crazy. But you let Jameis Winston get AFC Player of the Week. Tells you all you need to know about your defense. You let Jameis Winston throw for 300 and 3 touchdowns and look like a good quarterback. The Jameis Winston should have had 3 picks at most of this game. At 3 picks, 3 picks, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. And I mean, the offense didn't look any better, honestly. They really came together. They get too in their own way. They try to get too cute offensively. These stupid
Yep.
direct snaps to Henry or to Kolar or whatever. No, especially when you're down in the game. No, you keep it simple. You got your players, make the plays. Like if you're down by 3, you're down by 7 or whatever, it's not time for a direct snap to Charlie Kolar or Derrick Henry. No, you keep Lamar on the field. You let your guys work and drive down the field because guess what? That's what we've been doing all year. That's what we've been doing on this 5 game winning streak. Why all of a sudden you want to do something different? So one thing about Monken is there are some games where he just gets too cute. Just keep it simple sometimes. That's all it is. Honestly, man, this offensive line played like absolute dog shit in this game. I'm being serious. I'm not even trying to be funny. They played like crap, man. Especially I think Falele allowed the most pressures, and I just still don't feel like Falele is the best option at right guard. I feel like we have better options at right guard, and he continues to play him. And I'm really scared that he's gonna get Lamar hurt. Because
Yeah.
when we play decent defensive lines, they're going to eat Falele and Rosengarten alive.
They're gonna treat him. His name is Philip.
Or
Philip or
or
something like that.
some food we can think of, right now, but
But
it's
yeah, but
just ridiculous to me. It feels like this offensive line was kind of figuring out, but like there were still some questions about certain guys like 77, and I just still don't feel like Falele is the best option there at right guard, man. I really don't.
yeah, and I just wanted to say something, about when you said they did a direct snap to Derrick Henry. That was on like a 4th and 1, I believe.
Yeah,
That was the whole point of having Lamar and Derrick Henry on the field. You
exactly.
don't know who the ball is going to. When you
Yep.
just have Derrick Henry back there, obviously the defense knows that the ball is going to him. They
Right.
load the box and they just got
Yeah.
completely stuffed. And also, that took away 3 points off the board.
Yeah.
So that combined with Justin Tucker's missed field goal, that's 6 points.
And
You
we lost
know,
by like 5.
yep. So again, I
Not,
mean, I
not it's
like the
not saying the
decision.
game would have flowed the same way, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
just we look at that and like we could have had those points.
Yeah, yeah. And I like the decision to go for it on 4th and 1, but you're right,
Yeah.
Lamar should be on the field,
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully we can, just get back to our ways, on against the Broncos, in which we'll be going to. So yeah.
Hopefully they have Lele out there or have Eddie Jackson out there. I
Yeah.
don't know what they're gonna do with that safety position, man, because like
No, hold
it's
on.
it's getting to the
Hold on,
point where it's like
let me just say, the Broncos don't have anybody, so it shouldn't matter who we put out there. We shouldn't allow them to score any more than 20 points. If we do
yeah.
that, we're just trash.
I mean,
We're just trash.
outside of Njoku, I mean, who do the Browns really got? I mean, Judy's not really
That's
that
the thing.
good. Cedric Tillman just all of a sudden broke out in this game. Like I mean, outside of Cortland Sutton for the Broncos, I mean, you got one receiver. I mean, what do you got? But it doesn't matter because our defense is going to allow this team to score 20, 30 points. Our defense is just
Hmm.
bad. There's no adjustments for it. So,
Yep.
anyways, you want to get into stats?
Yep. Let's go.
Right,
I was
Don't admit
laughing
it.
because when you said Roquan Smith, I saw a comment, somebody called him Rozempic. And I
He needs to be on that shit because he looks big, man.
all right, so Lamar Jackson went 23 of 38 for 289 yards, two passing touchdowns. Lamar had a great game, and it
Yeah.
sucks that it has to be overshadowed by some drops. By Aguilar had a big drop on third down, would have
Yeah.
been a first down. Bateman had that huge drop. He was wide open, hit him right in his chest. And
Lamar got around like
listen,
340.
I know, and listen, I get that the sun might have gotten his eyes or he might have fell, but isn't that what they wear visors for?
Right?
You know what I'm saying? So should have been a catch. I don't care what nobody says. Derrick Henry, very limited, 11 carries for 73 yards. I think this is the first game. This is the second game he hasn't had 100 yards rushing because he didn't get it in the Chiefs game.
I think it was the third
Um,
game.
oh, the third game.
Yeah, he didn't. I don't think he got one versus the Bengals. I think he got like 90 something.
Okay.
Because remember,
Oh,
we didn't
okay.
run it that
Okay.
much with him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So we didn't get Derrick Henry really going, but also the running game wasn't really working. I mean, I guess that's not, I guess that's also not a good excuse because you got to still figure it out,
Right.
how to make it work, but couldn't really get him going. Lamar Jackson had 8 carries for 46 yards. When it comes to receiving, Zay Flowers again, continues to shine. 7 receptions for 115 yards. Isaiah Likely got involved a little bit more. 4 receptions, 47 yards. Nelson Aguilar, 3 receptions, 36 yards, one touchdown. Mark Andrews continues to, be more prominent, has 5 receptions, 36 yards, one touchdown. And Rashard Bateman only has 1 reception for 28 yards.
Mm.
Justice Hill has 1 reception, 14 yards, and that's about it.
Like, where's Justice Hill screens in this game also? Like,
Yeah, they weren't blended in there very well.
right.
Not
I
at
don't think they
all,
did
to
it
be honest.
once. Like, I'm not even kidding. Maybe that 14 yard was the Justice Hill screen, but like, where was it? Like, all
It
these
didn't
plays have been working.
just look at their receiving core. It just makes me mad because besides Elijah Moore and Jerry Jeudy, like who are these guys? And no
Right.
disrespect, I have never heard of them.
Yeah, I've never heard any of these guys either. And
The
we
only
didn't even.
Tillman I know was from the Orioles like years ago, or Michigan State.
Well, at least Trenton Simpson got a fumble recovery. But anyways, to go over the defensive stats, the worst part of this team. Kyle Hamilton has 10 total tackles. None of them are solo. He is a sack, a tackle for loss, two pass deflections, two QB hits, and should have added an interception on that, but it's whatever. Eddie Jackson has 10 total tackles. Six of them are solo. He has one pass deflection and could have had three picks. Roquan Smith has 8 total tackles. Five of them are solo. Brandon Stevens has 5 total tackles. Five of them are solo. He is a tackle for loss. Um, Jalen Armour Davis has 5 total tackles. Three of them are solo. Trenton Simpson has 4 total tackles. Four of them are solo. He has a tackle for loss. AD Washington has 3 total tackles. Three of them are solo. He is a tackle for loss as well. Sanusi Kane has 3 total tackles. Two of them are solo. I wonder if those came on defense or those came on special teams.
Mhm.
But anyways, KVN has 3 total tackles. One of them are solo. He has a pass deflection. Tavius Robinson has 3 total tackles. One of them are solo. He has a half sack and a tackle for loss and three QB hits. Malik Harrison has 3 total tackles. Chris Board has 2 total tackles. Two of them are solo. So does Matabike. But he is also a tackle for loss. Odafe Owe has 2 total tackles. One of them are solo, and he has a QB hit. And the rest of the guys, don't really matter. But we're going over the team stats here. Um, the Ravens converted 22 first downs, and so did the Browns. That's always weird. It feels like it's the same every week. But anyways, we
Mhm.
converted 14 passing first downs. They converted 16. We had 5 rushing first downs. They had 5 as well. We had 3 penalties. They had 1. We were 2 for 10 on third down, and they're 8 for 15. So not good third down efficiency in this game. We also were over 2 on fourth down in this game as well. We ran 62 total plays to their 66. We had 387 yards to their 401. We had 11 drives to their 11 drives as well. We averaged 6.2 yards per play to their 6.1. We averaged 263 passing yards. I guess this is like with sacks included. To their 321. Um, let's see, Lamar was sacked 3 times and Jameis Winston was only sacked twice. We had 124 rushing yards to their 80 on 21 attempts. And they had 23. We averaged 5.9 yards per rush to their 3.5. We were 3 for 4 in the red zone. They were 0 for 2. which is crazy. We had 7 penalties for 53 yards. They had 7 penalties for 74. They had that one turnover in the game, which was the fumble. And we only had the ball. They won the time possession battle. We only had the ball to 20 for 28 minutes and 54 seconds to their 31 minutes and 6 seconds. So not a not a good game at all. Honestly, not a good game. Just very
Yeah,
frustrating. This team's frustrating. We didn't make the move for Deontay Johnson, but we still need defense.
yeah. And another thing I forgot to point out, on those third down attempts, they were 8 for 15. A
Mm,
lot of them were just wide open over the middle.
yep.
And that's been a reoccurring problem this whole year,
Hmm.
up until now. So,
Feels like these
gotta
teams run the
fix that.
same play. They got like a tight end come in on a little curl route or a little out, whatever, out and come back, and then they just catch it. This is especially for third and short because everyone's playing off the ball, and it's like I don't know, man.
Yeah, at this point, whenever there's a third down, I already know they're going to get it. Like you said, an out route with the tight end towards the sideline or a drag, across the middle of the field. Just leave it those two. It works.
Hmm.
Um, so hopefully we can rebound against the Broncos. Let's just be honest, we should be able to. A rookie quarterback, Bo Nix. I don't think the Broncos have been up against that much good team so far. So hopefully, this could just be a chance for us to just rebound.
Right.
It sucks because the Steelers, they've been playing on prime time like the past 3 or 4 weeks. I don't know why. And they've had like an easy schedule so far. So of course they're 6-2, but we're gonna be fighting with them again. Um, but yeah, hopefully we can catch up to them. They can get a loss and we
And
just rebound.
freaking
So
Chiefs are undefeated. It's not looking good for a home AFC Championship game again.
I know. So yeah. I'll wish made last year even more perfect. But anyways. It is what it is. But I believe that's what we got for you guys in this video today. Make sure you like and subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts about the game. Comment, what did you think about the defense? Who do you think needs to be traded? Just comment, your thoughts. Um, Make sure to check out our social medias, our Instagram, our Twitter, our TikTok. Jared's continuing to make some great graphics on IG, so make sure to check them out, show them some love. Um, we did get a couple of messages on Instagram. I don't know if it's from one of you guys, but just continue to show us some love on there. And also check out our second channel, Casual Cinema. Um, Jared will be seeing Venom. I'm gonna try to see it too, so we can get a review on there, on our channel shortly. And that's all we got for you guys today. The Birds of Prey Sports, and we're out.